This video is to show you the market action that I've undertaken in the market during the fall that occurred in early August. It's for illustrative purposes to demonstrate how I have traded the market over this period. And just before I get started, I just need you to read this disclaimer so that you understand that the returns reported are provided for information purposes only. The results of past performance are no guarantee of future returns. And I do include many trade examples within the presentation, so you need to understand that they are in no way a recommendation to invest in any particular stock, CFD or investment. On the screen is a chart of the XJO, which is the ASX 200. Now I just want to discuss what's happened in the market over the last few weeks and how the signs were in the charts well before the big fall happened on Friday the 5th of August. So this is the XJO as of the 2nd of August, which is Tuesday the 2nd of August. And as you can see, this chart had been going sideways. It had built up support around this level at the 4450 mark, where it near touched here again, touched here again, touched here again, and was going above and below it a few times here. So it was still bouncing around that support level. Now on the 2nd of August, when I ran my market scans, I had very strong signals on the short side. So I'm just going to run my short scan, which is over the short list of shares that I can actually short in the market, which is about 156 shares. So if I say OK to that, and as you can see on the 2nd of August, this is how many shares came up in the scan. So there's approximately here 16 shares. So that's 16 out of 156 shares. So that was a sign to me that there was a lot of shares showing short signals on Tuesday the 2nd of August. If I run my long scan, which is looking for opportunities on the upside, and I'll run this on the ASX 300, you can see about 3 shares came up out of the 300. So it's definitely a weighting on the short side of the market. And when I ran my scans that evening, I started to consider shorting opportunities, and if the market broke down through this support level, I was definitely interested in going short. Well, lo and behold, the next day, on Wednesday, the 3rd of August, we have a huge market break, and it's breaking through that support level. I ran my scans that day, and on the short side of the market, and as you can see, there's a large amount of shares to choose from in here. So there was actually 48 shares out of the 156 that came up, which meant 30% of those shares were falling. Now this was a large number for me to go through, and I had a scan through and I picked 2 shares on this day to short sell. So one of those shares was Amcor, which I'll just open the chart, and the other share that I chose was QBE. I'll just open that chart. And this was all from these shares coming up in the scan and me entering based on my trading rules and my trading plan, which is everything that I share in my Smart Trading Plan and System Development course. So here you have QBE. This was the 3rd of August. This was the date that this share came up in the scan, and as you can see, this share had clearly been going sideways with a strong support level. And when I got this signal and it had clearly broken through support, I short sold this share, and as you can see, it's had a very nice fall. Now the other share that I short sold was Amcor. Now this share had been going upwards in a nice upward trend, and it broke below that trend line with a gap and a nice black candle, all red candle because I have them coloured red and green. That was a signal to me that the trend was changing here and a signal to short sell. So I also short sold this share. Now the following day in the markets, the XJO falls again. So this is now Thursday the 4th of August. So when I run my scans that day on the short side of the market, you can see once again there's a large number of shares in here. So on the 4th of August there was 46 shares that came up out of the 156 that I can short. So that was a 30% of the number of the shares that were giving me a short signal. Now I just picked one share out of this scan, which just happened to be ANZ Bank. Close this down. This is ANZ Bank here, and ANZ Bank had been going sideways for a long time with support here, and which it had touched previously. It had higher support levels as well, but it had come down to this level, and that's what it was doing on the 4th of August. It had broken through that support level of the nice round number of $20. So I short sold ANZ on Thursday, the 4th of August. So it's now 2 days into the fall and I've got 3 short trades open. At the moment, with the market being the way it has been, I haven't been opening any more than about 5 trades at once because the market hasn't been providing the yields, but we have had a breakout, so I'm starting to build into some positions, as you can see. Now the XJO, I'll just go back to that chart there. Now the XJO on the next trade day has a huge fall. So here it is. This is Friday the 5th of August after the US market has had a large fall overnight. I think it was about 5 or 6% the market had fallen. And so Australia automatically gaps down and we have a huge fall. So obviously this gives my short trades a really nice boost. And when I ran my market scan that day, you'll see that there was a lot more short opportunities, of course, coming up. So I just explore the short list on the 5th of August. And on the 5th of August, we had 43 shares out of the 156 come up. Now, I already knew the market had had a big fall, so I wasn't wanting to take on board too many trades now because it already had fallen quite strongly and gapped down. So I was really focused on finding shares that were just breaking below support levels and hadn't already fallen quite heavily, like the shares that I already had open. So from this list here, and there's once again quite a list, I selected Sims Metals. I'll just open up that chart. And there you can see this share was going sideways with a touch here, touch over here in the past, near touch here, near touch here, and that's a classic break of the sideways pattern. So I entered in on that short signal there on Friday the 5th of August. And if we go back to the XJO chart over here again, you can see that Monday, which was the 8th of August, was followed by another big drop, and that was due to a large drop that had happened in the US on the Friday, and also the news had come out about the US downgrade in their credit rating. So the market had a big fall in expectation that the American market would follow through, which it did, and it had that large drop. Now, I didn't open any new trades on the Monday. The market had already fallen very heavily. It had gone from falling from its support level around the 4450 down, closing below the 4,000 mark. So the market has had an 11% drop in 1, 2, 3, 4 trade days. Now that's a very large drop. The next support level for the XJO is around this level here, just below the 3,750 mark. If we go to the weekly chart, you can see the 3,750 mark here. And there's also support level here at the just below 4,200, which it had already broken through. Now just go back to the daily chart, and you can see it's Tuesday, the 9th of August, that we have the rebound. I mean, the market's already fallen over 11%, and it opens at this level here, has a huge fall, and then it recovers. And when you see long wicks on candles, because this is a candlestick chart, it means a rejection of lower prices. And that's a sign that the market is in for a rebound. So it's rejecting these lower prices, and then we have a green candle that's piercing into the candle from the day before, which is a classic reversal pattern in candlestick terms. So it was on this day that I took profits on my short trades because I'd already had some nice profits open and I could see the rebound coming. And when I have a look at each of the charts, they were also showing signs of rebounds. So this is Amcor, and that's the candle on Tuesday the 9th of August. It had already fallen from when I entered it over here at about 6.88. It had already fallen over $1 over 5 trade days, and then look at the recovery. So I actually took profits on this trade in here, and I made over a 10% return on the full trade size. and a much larger return on the margin because this was a CFD trade. Now, moving on to the next short trade that I had open, QBE. Just zoom in. Here is Tuesday the 9th of August, and that's when I took profits on this share. It had fallen from $16 to well under $14, and then it had that large wick and was showing the recovery, so I took profits. Now this is one of the few ones that hasn't continued with strength here, and it has moved lower. But I have shut all my short trades down based on my aggressive exit strategy that I'm using in this market. When I do see a short sharp move, I take my profits off the table and then I re-enter into other things. So I exited that one as well. ANZ Bank, I entered over here, and I exited on this white candle here, which is the rebounding candle on Tuesday the 9th of August. And the last one, Sims Metals. So I'd entered this one over here, and I took my profits on this one because, as you can see, rejection of lower prices, and I exited out of there. So I closed down my 4 short trades on this day, and I entered into a range of long trades. And that's because the market was showing signs of a rebound, and if it was going to rebound, it could get back up to this support level possibly. And the market has continued to rise back up since. And you can see it has the possibilities of what could be a dead cat bounce. That's another technical term, and that occurs when the market has a sharp drop in a short space of time and then it completely recovers itself. And if it's going to recover itself, it will move back up to this support level, and if it goes above it, then we have a dead cat bounce and the market is just going to continue its sideways trend. As to whether it does that, I am not 100% sure yet, and we'll be able to look back in a couple of weeks' time and know what the market has done. In the meantime, I have gone long in the market, and I have selected 5 trades which are profiting very nicely. I have included some of these trades in my latest newsletter, so you can check them out. So that was just a short video to show you how I have profited during the market fall, from the sharp fall that occurred where I short sold some shares, and then the rebound that has happened. Now, this is the most action I have seen in the market for quite some time, and it's not the sort of trading for the faint-hearted. It's something that you need to have in your trading plan, and it was from my experience with the World Trade Center crash and the GFC that I had a strategy in place of what to do when the market breaks support and has a strong fall, and that's to short sell. And if there is signs of a rebound, to take some profits and then become a buyer again. But the difference between the GFC is we'd had a long-term uptrend. So I'll go back on the chart and you'll see the GFC on here. So this is the GFC in here when the market fell. We had already had a long-term uptrend in the market, and then it broke and fell. So we've gone from a bull market to a bear market, where the World Trade Center crash, which is over here around September 2001, as you can see, it was like the current market. Here the market had been churning sideways for over a year, and then it had the big drop, which it recovered from. Now, I learnt a lot during this time because I was well overexposed in the market. I just started trading full-time that year, and I can tell you I lost a lot of money on that one day because I was overexposed with too much risk on board and over trading. A lot of things changed after that day, and I can tell you I don't do anything that I was doing back then, and I have very strict money management rules, which basically has allowed me to profit in all kinds of markets now. So that's a short video to show you the market action that has occurred of late and how I have profited in the current market action. It's going to be really interesting to see if the market recovers like it did during the World Trade Center crash and moves back into its sideways trend from here. Anything is possible, and I just stick to trading my systems and my trading plan and my money management rules. And I cover all these things in my Smart Trading Plan and System Development course.